Oh, hey. Just one second. Just checking out the tank here. I'll be showing you a picture of it here later. I'm going to be getting this out of the way. Well, not out of the way. We're going to be pulling it out. Got my mask on in case there's any splatter. I don't want no splatter. We get no infections. Get that out of there. I'm not going to show you taking it out because it's probably going to be a little bit of a process. Once I get it out, I'll take it over the table. We'll break it apart. We'll see what happens. Oh, there you are. So I was going to show you guys. If you see, I got the Miss Molly here in her little tank. I finally got her out of the big tank. I figured it was time. It's going to give you a little goodbye shot of her before I take her to the local fish store. Otherwise, I just wanted to let you know in this video, I got the reactor out. We're going to take it apart, see how much the CHAETO has grown, see where we're at with it. We'll take it from there. See, I'm going to probably do some water tests, do the tests on the phosphates, just maybe do a couple of random tests, maybe show you the results. Now, I was controlling my phosphate before I started this test strictly with phosphate E. My phosphates were still climbing and I was knocking them down every day. Since I've started this test, I have not added a drop. So when I do the test, you can see where it normally was climbing, way high, and I would have to dose it daily. So we'll see where it's at, see if it's holding it steady or taking it down. I'm excited to see what's happening. I know that the tank itself, which I'll give you a shot of, seems to look real good. It's basically seems like it's doing what it's supposed to. It's taking out the algae that was on the rocks and thriving it's pretty well not there. So I'm hoping that it's got my, all my parameters in order, but maybe it don't. Maybe they're still high and it's just feeding the CHAETO. We're going to find out though. So let's get this broke open and take a look and see where it went. All right, so here it is. We got it right here. This was the pump. It was leaking water, so I put it in this bowl. But I'm gonna use this bowl to get the contents out of here. I don't know if you can see that in there, but algae has grown inside these rubber tubes. Let's see if we can get that. Jesus Christ. Is that even on? I think I put that thing together like it's supposed to last a while. I'm gonna have to get out a well, it wasn't gonna leak. Alright, so that sucker was really on there. I didn't remember putting it on that tight, but I must have. Now let's just take this off. So as you can see, it's all, the tubes are no longer clear. They're covered with, or insides. I'm gonna have to do some cleaning there. Here's the part we're wondering about. As you can see, it actually worked as a cleaner because it collected a bunch of debris. And look here. So it's grown quite a bit. Look at all the gunk that it's collected. I should maybe have almost a filter before stuff goes in here. But here's as you can remember, when I first started it, I had about that much that I put in my hand. If you reference back to that video, you can see where there was about this much. And now there's this much. And this is roughly about 3 weeks. Of course, I'm going to rinse this all off with some salt water, get it all cleaned up, And I'm probably just going to take and put another small ball in there, start again, rather than pack it all back in there. But we'll get this all cleaned off, and then we'll put it all back together. But I mean, that's when you consider I started with this, and this is what I got 3 weeks later, it's definitely growing. So it's thriving on something, and you can see from the debris, it's actually collecting all the garbage in my tank, which I wasn't expecting, so I might have to put some kind of pre-filter around that little pump for the next time. This is all kind of a trial error because I didn't know what to expect. But we'll take that, we'll get that all cleaned up. We'll clean these filters up. As you can see, they're gunked. This as well, if you can see, the inside of that is all full of garbage. Definitely needs to be cleaned. This one as well, I got still a few chunks of this, but mostly it's just filter garbage. Looks like if I'm gonna need a filter on there to keep that. Definitely gonna need a filter. But it is definitely growing. My tank's definitely looking better. So it's definitely doing, I believe, what it should be doing. So we're going to take and get these parts all cleaned up. There's no reason to show you that. I'm sure you've seen parts being rinsed off before. And we'll get it back together, and then I'll go back into the rest of the video here where I show you some of the water perimeters, and I'll show you where the tank's at, as far as you know, what it looks like and how the algae is growing in the tank. And then we'll take it from there. But here's the one last shot for you. I mean, again, if you're talking maybe this much, if even, to this much, 3 weeks. It's pretty good growth. But I'm going to get this, like I said, all cleaned up. Then we'll go into the water perimeters, and then I'll give you a shot of the tank. I might even, you know, we'll see where it goes from there. Okay, we got 5, 4, 3, 2. .16. Now you might look at that and you might say, well, those phosphates are still high. And granted, it's higher than what you're going for. But my phosphates were way higher than that. Whenever I did not use the phosphate E, they would rocket way up. I mean, I would have to sometimes do 2 capful doses on a 30-gallon tank just to get it knocked back down. So yeah, do I think this is working? Considering I have not added any phosphate E and have not been checking this, and this is what I come up with, yeah, I think it's been working. And you can tell the algae is growing, or the CHAETO is growing. Everything is looking really good in the tank. You'll see in the pictures. I don't know exactly what it does. I guess it thrives on all the garbage in the tank. You know, the only thing that I wish now is that I had even a bigger container back there with more of it. Otherwise, I'm a firm believer that this is doing something, because the numbers, if you remember looking at my phosphate readings in previous videos when I was having all them problems, they were way up there. And that was with me, you know, well, that was right when I was starting to do the whole phosphate E. I was able to get it down, you know, way down with the phosphate E and keep it there, but I had to do daily checks, and I had to continuously be adding that stuff to keep it there. This is 3 weeks of doing nothing but just letting that thing run. Some of these I'm sure have nothing to do with the reactor, but I was doing some tests, so I thought I'd just show you guys. A couple of people have texted me and asked me what my water, or you know, what my tests come out at. Well, this is a quick showing here. This would be the pH. You can see it's at about in between. Let's, I don't know if I get this camera. You can tell it's right in the whole, like the 7.8 to 8.0 range. Ammonia You can tell that's down there to pretty much nothing. The nitrite equally down to nothing. I do have I'm going to say between 5.0 parts per million, close to 10 parts per million, closer to 5 though. When you get it, it's hard to see here because it's kind of dark on the camera, but when I get it in the light you can tell that it's. But that's a quick rundown of where my water is. And yeah, I like I said again, I think that reactor has been working wonders for my algae problem. Alright, I'm doing this in a little bit brighter of a light so that you can really see on the rock and see what's on there. I'm going to try to get this, hopefully my hands aren't too unstable. As you can see though, if I get up close, you can see all that hair algae and all the red algae and all the stuff that I did have at one time is now not there. I do have another dead coral there, unfortunately, if you can see him, but if you remember, this rock was the one I focused on in that hair algae video, how it was all just, you see that little tuft there in the middle? That, if you looked around the rock, that's it. I mean, there's no, and that piece there, I think come off that stupid snail that was just up there, because he's still walking around with some on him. We can see the polyps on that, how they're nice. And see where I glued it together. You can see that one little bubble. I had 2 or 3 little green bubble algae form on the bottom down there. I've been picking them off, but now I got another one I see. But that's the only spot I've seen that. This is just kind of a close-up view. Got some, you know, some little green algae around that coral right there, which I'll have to take that plug out and clean it here. But I'm just doing kind of a close-up video here to give you an idea. There's a little bit underneath that hammer. The corals all seem to be doing real well though. They're liking the light, well, all except for that one, that the Xena here, and I moved him to the corner. I put him on a separate from the rock because I heard so many things about them taking over your tank, and I just wanted to keep him away from the rock. So we'll let him grow over there and see what he does. This is the Oregon coral, is doing real well. The grape coral actually split. There was just one, now there's 2. They're pretty small, but they split. There's 2 there. So that one's doing pretty well. But just even if you look on the rocks, the gravel, there's one of the bang guys. A couple more back here. You see up here on the, he's hard to get on the camera, that, see the little purple head sticking out? That's the blenny. He's camera shy. But I'll try to go back here so you can. That's what the tank's looking like now. The reason I removed that molly out of here is the cardinals were actually beating him up. Had scars all over him, and I thought, well, rather than let him die, I'll let somebody else enjoy him. It's been a good fish. So I plucked him out. Trouble is now them Ben guys are fighting with each other, so I don't know if it was a win. I'm trying to keep it just to those few fish because I want to try and breed them. I don't want a bunch of other predators in there picking on them while they're trying to mate. And I want to try to, I'm hoping to get a little film on that, if it happens. But there's a quick peek of the tank. Alright, so I hope that video was informative. I hope it helped answer any questions. I have had several people comment. Actually had one comment today wanting to know when I was doing an update on this. So I thought, well, we'll knock this out. We'll get the update done. I was going to wait a little bit longer, but everybody seemed to be in a hurry to see it. And I thought, well, might as well check it out. You know, you can be assured there was no splatter. Everything was filtered. Perfect. Anyways, the tank here, as you can see in the bit I showed you of it, it's looking great. The water parameters are all looking good. Everything's coming together. You know, part of it is probably due to the time. You know, obviously it was a new tank right when I started, and I started doing a lot of stuff real fast. I was trying to make videos, and I got ahead of things, and you know that might have been definitely part of the problem. But the subscribers, you know, they told me about the CHAETO reactor, asked me to make one, try it out. I did. I like it. You know, keep coming with them ideas. Send me ideas. If you know, if I can, I'll make a video on them. You know, that way, if you don't want to mess with it, you can see if it works or not, and we can go from there. You know, any ideas you have, send them. As always, here's the broken record. Subscribe, comment, like. You know, I need those likes, I need those comments, I need those subscribers. YouTube watches all that. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to get it so that I can expand it, do more things. Anyways, until next time, I'll see you later.